try to give myself grace. Everybody says give yourself grace. It's so hard for me to do that. At the end of the day, it's my fault, and I let everybody down.
The week wasn't supposed to end like this. A roster patched with tape, your star playmaker in street clothes, and 40 minutes of noise in a hostile gym. On paper, that's a polite exit. But Indiana didn't show up to be respectable. They showed up to rewrite the bracket. The plan was simple and ruthless. Defend without gambling, trust the early pass, and refuse to break when the game demanded a response. That stubborn belief turned a slim chance into a living, breathing upset. What makes it irresistible is how quickly the tone changed. 1 minute, analysts are reciting the injury report like a eulogy. The next, the Fever are ripping momentum out of the building with clean execution and grown woman poise. You could feel a collective exhale turn to static. Not a miracle, not a fluke. Just a team that decided the story wouldn't end on schedule.
And Mitchell's been quiet for a while. Not anymore. Look, in Canada with another assist. A big bounce-back night for her. Mitchell dribbles behind the line to take the three. Howard with the one-handed rebound and putback.
Injuries don't just remove talent. They erase habits. Rotations shrink, roles warp, and the tiny automatics, who screens first, who tags the roller, who calls the switch, have to be relearned at playoff speed. Indiana looked at that chaos and built a spine anyway. The second unit became the first responders. A hardship guard turned into a stabilizer. Shooters hunted corners without hunting shots. The playbook didn't get bigger, the trust did. That's the part that rattled expectations. Without a safety valve, most teams played tight and predictable. The Fever went the other way. They kept the ball hopping, ran actions to move the defense, not to chase hero shots, and wore down the noise with patience. Every possession said the same thing. We're not flinching. And by the third quarter, you could see the other side hearing it too.
You talked about the desperation before game 2 on Tuesday. Just how does that carry over into tonight?
Well, I think anytime that you're a win-or-go-home situation, there's desperation. And so it has to carry over. You know, we're in the same situation. Our back is against the wall. We got to come out and we've got to play with that sense of urgency. We've got to play with that hunger. We've got to value every single possession and every single opportunity.
Some games stretch forever. Some hinge on a heartbeat. This one found its hinge at 7.4. Indiana didn't call for theatrics. They fed the right hands, trusted the interior seal, and got the layup that turns a road crowd into a held breath. It was quiet, almost clinical. Exactly the kind of bucket that wins playoff series because it ignores the moment and executes the math. Then came the swipe that sealed it. Lexi Hull jumped an inbound like she'd watched it 1,000 times, stole the angle, and swallowed the last miracle before it hit daylight. No stare down, no chest thump, just the cleanest kind of violence. Take the ball, take the game, take the series. 2 plays, perfectly timed, and the entire decade-old drought collapsed in place.
We've just been through so much this season, giving ourselves another chance in Game 3. Emotions are high.
This is a group that's confidence has really never wavered. This group has continued to show their heart, their character, night in and night out.
I think we all piggyback off each other within our group and our organization.
We've been in every kind of situation you can imagine, and we've been able to find ways to put ourselves in position to win, and this will be no different.
Somebody has to lose and somebody has to win.
For years, Brittney Griner was the weather in the paint. You didn't stop her. You prepared for her. Postseason nights carried her imprint, length, timing, and a gravity that bent shot charts. But this time, Indiana nudged the game toward angles that didn't suit her rhythm. Touches got heavier. Rotations felt a step late. And the fourth quarter, where names become seasons, wasn't hers to command. Across the lane, Aliyah Boston never rushed the proof. She leveraged position, not spectacle. She turned post-bodying into passing windows, made kickouts feel inevitable, and refused to chase blocks that would compromise the glass. The scoreboard noticed. The stat line noticed. More importantly, the moment noticed. It wasn't a crowning with fireworks. It was a quiet transfer of authority, the kind you only hear if you've lived in the paint long enough to respect what footwork can do.
Indiana Fever are heading to the semifinals.
See, driving to the foul line and the paint, lays it in. Sims, crossover left to right, gets into the paint. Layup, good!
Inside, Boston.
Kelsey Mitchell didn't wait for permission. She carved the lanes anyway. Hesitation into daylight, quick gather, release before the help could count to 1. 20-something points later, Indiana had a pulse that wouldn't quit. Her first half wasn't hot. It was necessary. It kept the math honest and gave the fourth quarter a reason to matter. Odyssey Sims, the late arrival, played like she'd been here all year. Strong with the dribble, patient with the eyes, and totally uninterested in panic. That endgame delivery to Boston wasn't a miracle. It was a read, made at the exact tempo the defense hated. Around them, Brianna Turner and Natasha Howard did what winning veterans do: fill the seams, box without complaint, close air without fouling, and turn cheap possessions into reliable ones. And Hull? She turned anticipation into punctuation. If stars write the melody, those four locked in the rhythm section until the building couldn't find the beat.
To Jones, throws it up.
No good! Game over! And the Fever are moving on!
Playoff basketball is a test of memory. Can you forget the last whistle? Can you ignore what the building wants you to feel? Indiana treated the noise like weather. Note it, prepare for it, never explain your game to it. Earlier frustrations could have bloomed into an ugly fourth. Instead, the Fever did the most grown-up thing a team can do: focus on controllables and let the scoreboard sort out the feelings. This is where the bench mattered without touching the floor. Injured teammates didn't just clap, they coached edges, hand signals, verbal tags, tiny reminders that keep a new lineup honest. That presence sharpened the group without adding speed. It's not highlight film content, but it's how close games tip. Teams talk about next play discipline all year. Indiana finally wore it like armor.
This is just 4 of 16 from the floor in game 2. That's terrific, Paul. Into Boston. Beautiful read.
The reward for clever, stubborn basketball is a date with a team that punishes mistakes like a habit. The Las Vegas Aces don't just have stars, they have infrastructure. Aja Wilson is the fulcrum, elastic on defense, unhurried as a scorer, and ruthless on the glass when a possession turns muddy. Against her, Boston's footwork becomes a thesis. It's not just about post touches, it's about leverage, timing, and the courage to make the simple read 3 times in a row. Indiana's margin will live in the small math. Live ball turnovers must trend to near 0. Second shots must tilt blue. Mitchell can't trade tough twos for empty trips. Sims has to keep the tempo where Indiana can see it, not where Vegas wants to spring traps. The Fever don't need perfection. They need insistence. On spacing, on the early pass, on refusing to let the fourth quarter belong to anyone else. That's how you turn a champion's comfort into a series.
For Atlanta has not been good. 40%. Maybe a little higher than that, 45.
Indiana electing not to call a timeout. Boston almost gave it away. Into Boston for the lead. She hits it. Indiana goes up.
Boston gets it. Mitchell is denied, but then Jordan Canada falls. Bree Jones almost gets it, but that's a second defender that's gone down, and Bree Jones.
Strip away the commentary, and what's left is a team that built a spine while half the league expected a limp. Boston didn't grandstand. She organized. Mitchell didn't hunt noise. She harvested points. Sims didn't audition. She administered. And everyone else, vets, role players, end-of-rotation grinders, stacked small, correct choices until they weighed more than the narrative. That's how cultures start, not with speeches, but with habits that refuse to crack. As for the legacy questions hovering over the paint, they don't need loud answers. Sometimes the game speaks in simple scenes. A layup at 7.4, a theft of an inbound, and a veteran watching a new order settle where hers once ruled. That's not disrespect. That's time doing what time always does, moving the crown an inch when the footwork demands it. If this was a spark, it's a bright one. If it's a beginning, the league just felt the first page turn.
I don't think I really gotten through all the way. That I didn't let down, everybody in my family, and it was just. I think I'm still trying to get through that part. Still to this day. I try to give myself grace. Everybody says give yourself grace. It's so hard for me to do that. At the end of the day, it's my fault, and I let everybody down.
If you're still here, you already live for this pace. Clean basketball, tight endings, no filler. We're building something from the ground up. And yes, the subscriber count is low right now. That actually makes your click matter more. Tap subscribe. Hit the like if you felt that 7.4-second swing, and drop a comment. Do you think the torch just moved in the paint? Or was this a one-series illusion? Your take sharpens the next breakdown and tells the algorithm this community values women's hoops done right. And if you want to go deeper with us, we put together a free email newsletter that sends exclusive women's basketball updates, quick tactical notes, matchup previews, and film-first insights straight to your inbox. Along with it, you'll get our free guide to understanding pace, shot quality, and defensive coverage in the women's game. It's all at basketplay.online. Join now, download the guide, and you'll be the person your group chat asks for receipts when the fourth quarter gets loud. Subscribe, like, comment, and let's keep the run alive.